Easy option, hard life. Hard option, easy life. Hey team, and welcome to this week's episode of The Inspired Show, the show that is dedicated to helping you become the best version of yourself, mentally as well as physically. We've got a great episode for you this week, but before we dive into it, if you're not done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date with every single episode that we launch. If you find this helpful, smash the like button and let me know any big takeaways in the comments section below. Don't forget, all our social media handles are linked down below as well, plus access to our exclusive community where you can get all the help you need to become that best version of yourself. In this week's episode, we're speaking about easy options versus hard options and how they can ultimately impact our life. We're going to show you what we need to be doing instead, how you can overcome it, but most importantly, make you more resilient and ultimately help you become that best version of yourself. Now, when it comes to working towards any goal, when we start off on our journey, it starts off quite easy, whether it's to lose weight, get a little bit stronger, get a little bit fitter. The reason why it's easy to begin with is because you're usually filled full of motivation, we're ready to go, we're ready to achieve those goals. But very quickly, life can get in the way. Life can get busy, and there's various things that can happen to us. Demotivation, tiredness, simply not being bothered, stressful situations, busy work, family time, all these things can get in the way. And when these things happen, it often leaves us at a crossroads. And this crossroads is what I like to call the easy path or the hard path. Now, the easy path is the path of comfort. The hard path is the path of discomfort. And this is where a lot of people start to falter and fail when it comes to their journey. They come to this crossroads and they have two options. Do they keep doing what they should be doing in order to reach their goals, or do they take the easy way out? And more often than not, if you have been struggling with your weight, your fitness goals, and you're not achieving what you want to achieve, if you're being completely honest with yourself, you've probably been taking the easy option. So what does that look like in reality? Well, let's take a full week scenario. Let's say you start off your week really, really well. Diet's on point, movement's on point, you're hitting your gym workouts, you're hydrating, everything's going good. But as the week goes on, work's getting stressful, kids are driving up the wall, you're getting tired, you're getting fatigued, and it gets to Friday evening. Now, it gets to Friday evening, and stress levels are high, tiredness is high, and motivation is low. And we've got two options. One, we follow through and do the things we said we we're going to do, which is cook that nutritious meal, have an early night so we wake up fresh for the next day to go for a walk or go for our gym workout. Or we order the takeaway, we crack open a bottle of wine, and we watch a load of crap on telly. Now, for most people, this is where they falter and fail because they take the easy option. They take the takeaway, the overindulgence, the laziness, the alcohol. Because it's easy, it doesn't require much effort. And in that moment, it actually feels quite good. It feels good having a cheeky takeaway. For some people, they enjoy that feeling of having a glass of wine or a couple of beers and then watching some mindless TV program. But the knock-on effects of that is we end up probably feeling a little bit guilty because we've got all these goals and all these targets we said we were going to do, but we didn't do them. So we feel like we failed. We feel like we let ourselves down. And then we come into self-sabotage. Well, I've ruined it now. It's Friday. Do you know, I might as well start again on Monday. Get this weekend out of the way. Which then leads to maybe waking up the next day, feeling a little bit stodgy, a little bit bloated, tired. So you probably don't get your movement in. And it just leaves us on Monday morning back in square one, starting again in the same old rut, ultimately moving us away from our goal, where we're not getting any leaner, we're not getting any more energized, and we're certainly not building the habits needed for long-term success, which ultimately is leading us to a harder life. But let's rewind back to that Friday and let's reassess those options. So let's look at the hard option. We've had a busy, stressful week in work. The kids are driving up us at the wall, motivation's low, and we're just simply not feeling it. And we're really craving that takeaway. But we're not craving it because we want it, and we're deciding to have it. We're craving it because we want that feel-good factor. We want to crack open that bottle of wine because we want that kind of relaxation from it. Not because we choose to have it, because we're craving it from an emotional standpoint. But what we actually do is we follow through and do the thing we said we were going to do. We're going to cook that nutritious meal that we planned to cook, despite knowing it's going to take a little bit more time and a little bit more effort to do so. And then instead of having a bottle of wine or a couple of beers, to de-stress and unwind, we'll actually take ourselves upstairs, do a little bit of skincare, lotions and potions. We might have a nice little bubble bath, and we might get into bed and read a book. Again, you're not going to get that instant gratification that you might get from the alcohol, but the next day, you actually wake up feeling a little bit better, and you think, do you know what? I'm really glad I cooked that nutritious meal last night. I don't feel bloated. I feel quite fresh. Do you know what? I'm going to go and do that park run I said I was going to do. So whilst you won't get the instant gratification from cooking that nutritious meal when you're stressed, or going up to do some self-care and having an early night when you're craving alcohol, it's the delayed gratification. It's that gratification that you get a little bit afterwards. And that is the hard option. That is the hard option in a nutshell. And there's going to be times in your life where you are going to be faced with the easy option and the hard option. And your mind is going to give you every single excuse. It's going to tell you every single story on why you should be taking the easy option, the path of comfort, the path of less resistance. But we know deep down, it's not going to take us where we need to be. And the thing about taking the hard option is, the more we do it, the easier it becomes. Like on the day when you know you've got to get your steps in, and you're looking outside and thinking, it's looking a bit miserable today, it's cold, it's drizzling, I'd rather stay inside. But you put that raincoat on, and you get outside and go for that walk, or you even put a step workout on YouTube to get your steps in, even though you don't want to be standing around in the house, marching on the spot to some silly music. That hard option means you move one step closer towards your goals. But the more you lean into that discomfort, the more resilience you build. And the easier it becomes, and ultimately they start becoming habits and rituals. And then, despite how you're feeling, you just end up doing them. Like, you don't even think about them. Like, think about when it comes to brushing your teeth. Like, when you were a child, even think back to when your kids were younger. Like, you probably hated brushing your teeth. Your children probably hated brushing their teeth. It was a chore. We had to have to be reminded. We had to be prompted. But over time, we did it over and over again. And now we do it second nature. And that's the same with all these other lifestyle habits that we need to start creating if we want long-term success. And what I would say to anybody that is struggling to take that path of discomfort, take that hard path, and they want to take the easy path, is get really clear on the reasons why. Like, why are you on your journey to begin with? Why do you want to make these changes? What is something powerful enough to pull you into that path of discomfort, despite how you're feeling, despite you telling yourself stories of why you should be taking the easy option? So get really clear on your why, focus on taking the path of discomfort, and I guarantee you'll start seeing better results, you start becoming more resilient, and you start building habits and rituals to have ultimate lifestyle change. Guys, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you found today's episode insightful and helpful. Don't forget, if you did find it helpful, hit the like button, and if you're not hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button.